Welcome to episode 25 of Two Guys, One Sport. Magic 25, we can rent a car now. We have hit that legal age for car rental, and after that, it all goes downhill from here. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris.
I'm George. I took a nap. I am revitalized. I am ready to rock and roll. I have thoughts, Brother Chris, on a myriad and sundry amount of subjects in the world of professional wrestling. But first and foremost, how are you?
I'm great, and not just because it's Friday and the work week is over. We have some big news. I teased this on Twitter earlier this week, and here it is. We are rapidly approaching iTunes syndication, folks. Soon you will be able to listen to us not just on YouTube, but also through your iTunes. We're just in the process of converting all of the old episodes into MP3 format, and one $15 subscription to SoundCloud later, we will have everything that we need in order to get ourselves some iTunes syndication. So now you have even more of a reason to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your aunts, your uncles, your grandpappies, your grandpappies, everybody.
Everybody.
Tell everybody. Check us out, and now they have an even more convenient way to listen to us.
The problem, I was looking at, Brother Chris, I was looking at building a website for us, a full-blown website using Wix. Mm-hmm. And the problem isn't the money. I mean, the money is $10 a month. I mean, I pay more for the Observer. The problem is that it would take an inordinate amount of time investment, and it would take an inordinate amount of social media investment, two things that I'm not thrilled about doing when I work full-time, or for that matter, anytime. So iTunes, I think, is the way to go for now.
Yes, indeed. I mean, if we have anybody in the audience who has any desire to be a webmaster or do anything else like that, we're more than happy to accept the assistance. I don't know how much we can pay you for that, but if anybody has any interest in doing that, we would love to hear from you. Otherwise, as I said, iTunes is coming soon. I imagine it will be probably before next week's episode. And I also have actually a programming note about next week's episode, in that it will be not me here with you.
No, sir.
Because I'm going to be down in Virginia playing an inordinate amount of Warhammer for 4 straight days at the Nova Open tabletop gaming convention. If you want to come and hang out with me if you're in the area. I can't let you into the convention because you need to buy a pass, but you can still hang out if you're in the Northern Virginia area. But joining George next week will be the marvelous mustache of Mr. Duke. He's going to be taking my spot and hopefully not burning the place down in my absence.
We are going to be talking a ton of Nova Pro. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
If Duke's Twitter has been any indication, then Cool for the Summer was one hell of a show, and I cannot wait to pick his brain about it next week.
Yeah, next week is going to be all Nova Pro. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, don't get those two confused. Nova Open versus Nova Pro. That happened before when George and I were talking. He was like, "Wait, are you Duke?" I'm like, "No, it's not Nova Pro. It's Nova Open."
Yeah, because you were talking about how you were not happy about someone there, and I'm like, "Oh no, you're mad at Duke." And no, you can't be mad at Duke. You can never get mad at a man with a mustache that brilliant.
No, not at all.
That's next week, though.
Yeah, I mean, and that whole Nova, North Virginia, that's a easily recyclable acronym. So, that's why we have that occurring twice. But anyway, back to the show proper. Episode 25 is going to kick off as every other episode does with our matches of the week. Do you want to go first, or should I?
Sure, I have one this week. The past month, I've been forgetting until the last minute, and then kind of winging it on the fly. But I have a match of the week this week. It is a match I know you're familiar with, because we've talked about it in the past briefly, not on the show. My match of the week is the one and only Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler from February of this year.
Yes, good choice.
I chose this match. I watched this match about a month ago when the Mae Young tournament came out, and I wanted to know more about one of the competitors. I went to you, and I said, Chris, I need to know more about Shayna Baszler. I need to know more about her other than that she is one of Ronda Rousey's comrades in arms. And you said you should watch this match. It is Io Shirai. And I said, I like Io Shirai because I have eyes. Therefore, I like Io Shirai. This match was pretty great. If you like watching one girl kick the shit out of another girl and that other girl sell because Io is one of the best sellers in the world, you will like this match.
Yeah.
If you like watching MMA style grapple fucking, you will like this match. Lots of fun arm bars, Fujiwara, Kimuras, all that good stuff. The leg scissor holds. My favorite and least favorite part of this match actually is the same spot. Baszler goes up for a suplex that turns into a Ishii brainbuster into a rear naked choke.
Yeah, that's her finisher.
Something weird happened though.
Yeah,
and the referee made her break the. Well, she wasn't going to win the match because it was for one of the Stardom belts, but the referee made her break the hold for no kayfabe reason whatsoever. The reason was basically, hey, you can't win. I'm gonna have to eliminate. I'm gonna have to call the match for you because Shirai's so good at selling that you may have actually killed her.
Yeah, I think the thing that happened there was the ref not realizing that Shayna actually does know this pro wrestling thing quite a bit. He thought that she might have forgotten that Io wasn't going to go for a rope break and was telling her, no, you have to go for a cover. You have to go for a cover. Language barrier being what it is and all. I think that there might have been some miscommunication there.
Last quarter of the match because I was like, oh, no, there we go. But the first 3 quarters of the match more than make up for it. A lot of fun. Io wins with her cool moonsault, little moonsault thing that she does. Great match. Great showcase for Baszler, who I imagine we'll be seeing more of in the future.
Absolutely.
A Mae Young competitor. Highly recommended. If she is as good in the Mae Young as she is in this match, then it will be one hellacious tournament for Miss Baszler.
Yeah.
Great match. A lot of fun. Would recommend. Only problem is it's on Russian YouTube, so you may get computer herpes or something if you go check it out. So be advised if you Google this match and you get Russian YouTube that it's not my fault. You taking your computer in its own hands. So that's the match of the week. What you got, Chris?
All right. So we're all familiar with the whole concept of attacking a limb and selling a limb, or attacking a body part, selling a body part. Correct?
Oh yeah. That's how this works.
Usually for one of 2 purposes, either to capitalize on an injury that is in place or pre-existing, or to take away the strength of an opponent, to take away a key part of their arsenal.
Or just because in a lot of matches, which aggravate me.
So, we see, attacking, selling the arm, selling the leg, selling the neck, selling the back, all those typical things. Have you ever seen a match where someone has to sell their ass?
No, sir.
Well, this is my match of the week. May 3rd, 2017, we had Kairi Hojo versus Toni Storm. Now, obviously, 2 of the most heralded performers in the world, and both amazing talents in their own right. Now, this was a typical Stardom undercard match. Neither of their respective titles, because both of them still had their titles at the time. Neither of their respective Stardom titles were on the line. But, it was just an undercard singles match because obviously, we knew Kairi's time with Stardom was coming to a close, and Rossi Ogawa was trying to book her into as many marquee matchups as he could before she headed off to the States. So this was one matchup that we'd never seen before, so they wanted to have it in a Stardom ring. So, May 3rd this year, we booked it. Now, it starts off as, typical Stardom match does, the rest holds, lockups, all that fine stuff. Toni takes control, and she does her signature spot. Now, if you've ever seen a Toni Storm match, she usually has a spot where she'll, get an opponent down to the mat, and she'll grab them by the head, and then she will just start hitting them in the head with her ass. It's a hip attack, but to a seated opponent, and she basically just gets them straight in the face with her butt. And then she does like a little New Day hip swivel before the final one. So she does this to Kairi, and Kairi, being Kairi, is not going to take this lightly. So after Kairi, recovers and gets back up to her feet, she starts attacking Toni Storm's ass. Not in a comedy spot either. This is not like Ryusuke Taguchi, crazy buttman spots that he does in New Japan. This was played fully legitimately straight. And it actually makes sense because Toni Storm's finisher, she won't be using it in the Mae Young Classic, obviously, because WWE has their things with pile drivers. But her normal finisher is a spike pile driver. And if she can't, and
like
she
Jerry Lawler, Bret Hart, old school belly to back pile driver?
It's a sit out. It's a sit out.
Okay, not a tombstone. Bell. Okay, I follow.
Yeah, so if and she's going to land right on her ass, and if she is already suffering a lot of pain there, then she probably will not be able to as effectively make a cover. So I mean, it makes sense in that sense. So at one point, Kairi hangs Toni up on the ropes, but it's not like a Tree of Woe spot where she's facing out towards the ring. No, she's facing in towards the turnbuckle, and then Kairi just starts in Ric Flair chops and forearms straight to Toni's ass, just repeatedly, and then she drop kicks her right in the ass too. And it's just like it. And Toni is selling this like a champion, like just crazy, like selling for this. And it doesn't even like if not for the fact that she's grabbing her ass in pain, it like you would not think to even like laugh at this legitimately because she looked like she was really hurting. But I mean the match, it's funny to watch, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is not a showcase of styles that you would ever expect, but it's really cool, and also it's funny, but also really cool to watch at the time. There's one point where Kairi actually also locks in an octopus hold and starts and to supplement the hold is forearming Toni's ass from the hold again. Okay. Just the full workover. And Toni makes a comeback, hits this pile driver, but she can't make the cover like Kairi intended, and the match goes to a time limit draw. I mean, it's a short match. It's only 15 minutes because Stardom undercard matches have 15-minute time limit standard. But, I mean, it's a fun match to watch, and it's really interesting to see that kind of psychology of just abnormal selling and targeting and how to work with that. So it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. If you have Stardom World, you can check it out. I don't know where it would be on free internet. I can't find it anywhere on free internet personally, but it's really good. And Matt, to answer your question, Toni's ass-based offense is not as bad as Naomi's rear view. Like Naomi's rear view is just blatant. This is definitely more styled as like Asuka's hip.
Excuse me. She calls it the rear view.
Yeah, that's true.
We like to use proper nomenclature here on the show.
Yeah, we got to use the full name. Yeah.
Her move is she calls it the rear view.
Yep.
So let's set the record straight. But go on. I'm sorry.
But Toni's offense is more akin to like Asuka with the hip attack that she does. I mean, that's more what you would see it as. It's just rather than doing the running attack, it's stationary. But Toni literally has to reach behind her, hold her opponent's head in place by the hair, and to do this move. But I mean, the crowd loves it. I mean, every crowd loves it because I mean, it just like it works with Toni's swagger. She's that's her kind of thing where she's just is like, yeah, I can do this. I can get away with this. What are you gonna do about it? It just works for her. It's fantastic. So those are our matches of the week. 2 Stardom matches. I think this is the first time we've had 2 Stardom matches as our matches of the week.
Just because.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd seen this match about a month and a half ago when the Mae Young Classic bracket was announced. Mm-hmm. So I kept it in my back pocket as a match of the week, and I decided to kind of use it this week because I couldn't think of anything. But I have a match of the week for next week because you're talking about selling and stuff has inspired me to go back and rewatch one of my least favorite matches. And I don't mean that in the same sense of when I talked about that TNA match with the 2 ladies, Jenna Morales and this is a match between 2 wrestlers who are excellent, but this is one of my least favorite matches. But we'll save that for next week.
I'm not going to be here to hear it, but I'll definitely listen.
Okay. Oh, even better, because I know Duke has seen this match because Duke is a wrestling historian, much like myself.
Yeah.
So Duke and I will have a little bit of talk about this match that is from the '90s with one of my least favorite matches featuring 2 great workers. But we'll save that for next week, brother Chris.
Excellent.
NXT. You want to talk about NXT? You want to talk about? Yeah. Are you still talking about the match? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was done. We got through it. Yeah.
You want to talk about NXT?
Yeah, we got our recaps. We'll start with Takeover.
Sure. Takeover was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the show. Let's talk about the show in general, and then we'll dive into the matches. I thought this was one of the best shows that WWE has put forth in a long time.
Yeah, it was a very, very well put together show.
The worst match, I gave 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
The worst match.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, they were all great matches. I mean,
and I use the word worst only in comparison to the rest.
Yeah, I mean, because something has to be on the bottom. You know,
yes,
that's just the way rankings work.
The worst match for me was the tag match, and I went 3.5. I thought that was still very good.
Yeah, I went to the main event actually as my worst.
I love me some Bobby Roode.
Yeah, you're all about Dallas.
I am all about Bobby Roode. Reminds me of 80s style NWA heels, which is why Triple H loves him. Mm-hmm. By the way, Bobby Roode, props to Bobby Roode for being the dime store Triple H, which is ensured that he'll always get pushed. Mm-hmm. it's just a little bit of wrestling savvy on his part. I thought the tag match was the worst of all of them, but I still thought it was an excellent match. In fact, I think the tag match may have been better than all but 2 or 3 matches the next night. That should tell you how good this show was.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I thought the women's match was the second best women's match WWE's ever done after the legendary Bayley Sasha Banks in Brooklyn.
Yeah, the first.
I thought it was number 2. And considering number 1 is one of the best matches of all time, that's not a bad thing. And I am not an Ember Moon fan.
Yeah. I'm going to have thoughts on that, but
we'll get there.
We'll get there, yeah.
I have thoughts on the opening match, but do you have any general thoughts on the show as a whole?
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a very good show. I had some I think there were some questionable booking decisions in certain regards to the show, but especially given the aftermath of what has happened during the past week. But overall, I liked the show. I liked the usage, especially of establishing the ROH guys as immediate threats to not just the respective titles, but really just to everybody. They brought these guys out in the right way. If they wanted to establish a new stable that that's going to immediately that's designed to immediately make an impact, this worked really well. And yeah, overall, I can't really complain about any of the matches aside from, as I said, some booking decisions. Overall, I really like a lot of what NXT did, and definitely was a better show for me than SummerSlam.
Oh, light years better than SummerSlam. Well, night and day.
Yeah. Sal with the math. If Bobby Roode is a dime store Triple H and Triple H is a dime store Ric Flair, does that make Roode a penny store Ric Flair? I would say that makes Roode a thrift store Ric Flair.
Yes.
Salvation Army Ric Flair.
Yes. We'll go from there.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
All right, so let's get into these matches. First up, Andrade Cien Almas, with assistance from Zelina Vega, defeated Johnny Gargano. The T-shirt throw.
I was about to say I love this match, and I hated the finish.
Yeah, same.
I hated this finish with all of my cold black heart.
I hated the finish, but I understand it. I really do.
I barely understand it.
I do.
I think it makes Gargano look weak.
I don't think so at all.
I think it makes him look weak, and I think it makes him look soft.
I don't think so at all.
Not big Cass soft. Get well soon, by the way, Cass.
Yeah. Enjoy your surgery recovery with Carmella and Starbucks.
I think it makes him. Yeah, I think it makes him look weak. I think it makes him look soft. I think it makes him look fragile, mentally fragile. I mean, all the time. You watch.
He should look mentally fragile, though. That was his best friend that betrayed him.
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. All the time, you watch shoot sports, right? All the time. All the time you hear about elite athletes being able to compartmentalize, right? Guys who are going through real world, off the court, off the field issues and are still able to perform. Do you remember maybe in 2001, 2002, Brett Favre's dad died? And then like that weekend on Monday Night Football, he put up like 450 yards passing against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like that happens a lot. The elite athletes do that a lot. Michael Jordan's personal life was spiraling out of control in the early to mid 90s, and he was still winning titles.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
guys put up with Jackie Robinson put up with racial slurs every night, and he was hitting rope and doubles down the first base line.
Yeah,
like those guys aren't mentally soft. Those guys are able to compartmentalize the stuff that happens off the field or pitch or whatever, and are saying, you know what, I am still able to perform at an elite level. And I just think that Gargano looks fragile, looked like he was unable to get over this betrayal, and that didn't sit well with me.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to say that the only comparison that you made there would be the Jackie Robinson one, because it's one thing to compartmentalize things, to be able to focus on the task in front of you and to tunnel vision yourself into just focusing on what's in front of you. But it's another thing when the thing that's plaguing your mind that you've compartmentalized away. Oh, that word is way too long.
It is.
Thing that you've shuffled to the back of your mind, when something comes up that just suddenly brings it right back to the forefront and throws it right back in your face, you get distracted. You lose your focus because everything that you worked so hard, you were disciplining your mind so much to put away and to focus on another thing that's in front of you. For that to just all come bubbling right back up to the surface immediately, that hurts. That's hard to deal with, and that definitely can cause distractions. And you'll notice it wasn't that, Zelina threw the shirt, Johnny took it and stared at it for like 10 seconds before Andrade hit the dropkick. No, she threw the shirt. Johnny looked at it for maybe a second to look at it and comprehend what it was, and then Andrade hit the dropkick. I mean, if not for the fact that it was a DIY shirt specifically, I would say that it was just a regular distraction finish. And it doesn't necessarily come into play that it was psychologically tearing at him until after the match, when he's like staring at it after the match. And then he did that post-match interview after the show where he just basically couldn't even say anything because he was just staring at the shirt and just so completely lost in turmoil, obviously. Like I said, if it wasn't a DIY shirt that Zelina had thrown at him, I would just say it was just a regular distraction finish, and Andrade won through scheming heel tactics, which makes sense for him.
Oh no! I got into this on Twitter with some people. There's no chance Almas should have won that match clean. People are like, well, do you think it should have won clean? No.
Yeah,
heels cheat, and he definitely cheats. I just thought the way that they went about it just made Gargano. It diminished Gargano more than I would have liked to have seen so far. Match itself was still excellent. I think I went 4.25 or thereabouts on my.
Sounds about right,
yeah. Match itself was still excellent. Don't get me wrong. It's just I thought that it made Gargano look too soft.
Yeah, I agree with what Tanya says here in the chat, though. If the breakup isn't profound enough to affect Johnny, then why should we be invested in him, getting his, retribution with Ciampa whenever Ciampa comes back? If Johnny is, over it and done with it, then wouldn't it be just, okay, I moved on. I'm, not even going to think about Ciampa anymore. And when he comes back, he just does his own thing. I'm not looking to get back at him. They made a point of saying that, that Johnny made a point of saying, the few times that he's had the mic that, when Ciampa comes back, he's going to deal with what happened, 100%. They've made that point clear.
Which is, what are we thinking? Like New Orleans?
Maybe. I don't no. Wait, when was Chicago? May?
Yeah, May.
All right.
Mid to late May.
What's the takeover in January? It's not Houston.
Houston is November. Rebels in Philly, right?
Yeah, so Philly. I'm thinking Philly. We get a Ciampa.
7 months.
Yeah,
I recover from a blown knee. Okay, I mean I don't know.
Yeah, that was about my recovery time, and these guys are dealing with the best physicians that money can buy. I'm thinking that in Philly, we get Ciampa run-in distraction on a Johnny singles match, costing Johnny the match. It might even be a title match. Ciampa might even come in and cost him the NXT Championship, which I would not be surprised at in the least. If Johnny to get a title shot in Philly and for Ciampa to cost him the title, leading to the final grudge match in New Orleans, I already do, now that I've talked it out, expect that to be the order of things. And and you can bet your ass.
You don't need to be 100% healed to do a run-in.
Yeah.
If you're Ciampa, if you still have some lingering side effects, you can use the 3 months between Philly and New Orleans to get 100% mobility and structure back in his leg. Because obviously, even with the top of the line physicians and stuff, everyone heals differently.
Yeah, and you can bet your ass that Philly crowd is going to go in on Ciampa when he shows up.
As they should.
Yeah. You can bet that they will give him hell, and
as they should.
Will be well deserved. Yeah. Sal, I'm going to tell you right now. If you want to boot Ciampa, go to Philly.
Yeah, jump on the Metro. Jump on the Amtrak down, Sal.
Yeah, get there.
Jump on the Amtrak.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we had the tag title.
Oh, is this the first time Almas has won on Takeover? I was thinking about that, by the way.
Yes. Oh no. He won his Takeover debut over Dillinger.
That's right. That's right. A year and a half
ago.
I think
it was Takeover the end.
Yeah, a year and a half.
The last Takeover to ever take place in Full Sail, and the last Takeover that will ever take place in Full Sail, because Full Sail sucks. Although not as much as Brooklyn. We'll talk about the Brooklyn. We'll talk about the Brooklyn crowd later. Don't you worry. I know that our Wednesday night shooting friends, Tanya and Andrew, already had their words about the Brooklyn crowd.
Which you should listen to. If you listen to us, you should listen to them. They're good people.
Well, we will definitely have some words on the Brooklyn crowd later as well.
Sure. I like words.
Yeah.
Tag match. Eric Young facing Peril.
Yeah.
Great.
That was fantastic.
That was so good.
That was a great bait and switch. I really enjoyed that bait and switch of him jumping up on the apron and waving off Dane.
Yeah, that was awesome. In fact, I watched this match. I'm going to this match. I'm like, man, they're going to have 4 heels. How are they going to pull this off? And they managed to pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, now that in hindsight, you have to do it that way for storytelling purposes, because Dane in the match automatically just makes it a slugfest.
Yes.
And we've seen enough AOP slugfests at this point that we
know what we're getting.
We know what we're getting. Being able to see a different side, a different dynamic to Sanity has really helped the whole stable. Honestly, it really did. Everybody in the stable benefited from that.
Eric Young hot tag. I never thought that was awesome. Good stuff. All the people in this match for working their asses off too.
Nikki Cross trying to take out Razor.
Yes. You can see the authors get better and better each match. You can see them get more confident. Yeah. I hate this term with all my heart, but you can see them have more swagger. You can see them get better and better each time out. It really is something else.
It is. Yeah, I just can't.
It's shooting to hell. My performance center is a waste of space theory, Chris.
Hey, to be fair, both of these guys did have experience in other combat sports before coming in.
Yes.
Yeah. Razor has he was an MMA fighter in Europe before he came over. He actually has the nickname the Albanian Psycho, and Akam was. I want to say he was like Canada's Chad Gable. Just
really?
A huge variant of Chad Gable. He was one of a huge amateur wrestling star in Canada.
Oh, cool. Good stuff.
Yeah. Great career.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love getting better each time out.
Yeah. But I still just can't get over friggin' 110-pound Nikki Cross trying to jump on 330-pound Razor and trying to, even do anything.
Choke him or something, whatever that was.
He just grabs her out of midair, and then Killian Dane's like, well, shit, gotta save my girlfriends. Put him through a table.
Yep. No, that was good stuff. Everybody worked their ass off in this match. Yeah. This match was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, and Marcel, great points. It's easy to forget that AOP are in their early to mid-20s. They have such great careers in front of them.
100%. Their physical, good point, Marcel. Their physical presence is off the charts. They get over just by being physical, charismatic specimens.
Yeah, just behemoths. Sometimes all you need is just a behemoth, and that's them, 100%. And then we had the attack by Red Dragon after the match, which I thought was spectacularly executed.
Yes, I sort of.
Chasing the Dragon is obviously going to have to get renamed, because I don't think they want to be alluding to heroin on WWE TV. But all the same,
that's okay. Names are easy to come up with.
Yeah, I hope that they keep the name Red Dragon, because that's an awesome name.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
is. And this was the right way, rather than waiting to debut them as a tag team until the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. If they're even going to run it this year, who even knows? But this was the right way to bring them together. Because we had their singles matches, they had their singles match debuts. Okay, no big deal. These guys, they're here, but they're not doing much. But now, Now you know to pay attention.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about this earlier on the train, maybe on Wednesday. I like that they debuted as singles first and then debuted together.
Yeah.
As a tag team. I thought it was more effective that they did that rather than just come as a tag team cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it worked for me the way they did that.
Absolutely.
Either way, I'm excited. I'm excited for the ROH stable.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to that in a little bit. Next up, we had the shootiest of shoot fights that has ever shot.
Yeah. I talked about how much I like watching people kick each other in the head. That was this match.
Yep. Aleister Black defeated Hideo Itami with the most amazing black mass I've seen him do yet.
How about the Avalanche Michinoku driver?
Oh my God.
Good stuff. You know what this match was like? This match was like watching like 2006 Noah.
Yeah.
It's like watching old Noah match, an old Kenta Noah match. It was like Marufuji or something. That's what this match was. Just guys kicks and slaps and strikes and suplexes, and it was very, very, very reminiscent of a great 08, 09 Noah match.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. I mean, these guys, they left it all out in the ring. I mean, Black was bloodied up in the first 5 minutes of the match, and he just kept going.
This is the best. This is more than any other match this year, almost any other match this year, and this company's produced. This looked like an actual fight.
Yeah. I mean, they've tried to book matches that look like, like shoot fights, but nothing has ever been as effective as this.
No, especially in the not counting Brock Lesnar division.
Yeah. Especially not counting Brock Lesnar division.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk all the time about how everything is different when Brock is around, and we'll talk about that when we get to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Black, by the way, is speaking of physical presence and charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there. And this was the best Hitami has looked since his injuries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excited for him to go back. Excited for him to be in the best of Super Juniors next year.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know what the future is for this guy. Is he going back to Japan? Do we know? Where he seems to be a little bit lost in the shuffle.
I mean,
Chris Hero kind of picked up where they left off, but I think both of them, there's not a lot there for either one of them right now.
We're not going to get into spoilers from the NXT tapings, aside from that which WWE has already spoiled itself. But yeah, I mean, it's clear that he needs a little bit of direction because NXT is very crowded right now. But I mean, at least even if he does go off back to Japan, he's at least going to go off on a high note because this was like you said, the best he's looked since his injuries. And Black, I gotta say, all we need now is for him to talk. Just give us some words.
Yeah, give us something.
Yeah, but coming out with the bands, that was fucking sweet.
Yeah,
as a metalhead who loves him some great live performance, that was a sweet entrance for that guy. And I was half expecting him to grab the mic and just start singing his own lyrics himself, because it would have fit. It would have been perfect. If he just grabbed the mic from the lead singer and just started doing the chorus himself, I would have fucking lost it. You would have been able to hear the cheers all the way in Chicago. It was so fucking cool. But even still, yeah. I mean,
this match was a lot of fun.
One promo from Black is all he needs at this point. He is.
I'm sorry. One what?
One promo from Black is all we need now.
That's it.
And and then just fucking put the title on him.
I almost would hot shot his ass right to Raw, to be honest. I mean, we have so much depth in the men's side and I would just put his ass on Raw and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, you could even rather than
he's almost too big for this promotion at this point.
Yeah, rather than throw the NXT title on him, throw the Cruiserweight title on him.
No, I'm not wasting. No. I'd rather just put him in the main event scene.
Yeah.
Call it a day. I mean, you have a physical presence like this guy. Why, if you protect him, why can't he be fighting Samoa Joe? Why can't he be fighting Roman Reigns? Why not?
You expect that
him and Roman Reigns would have an excellent match.
Oh, absolutely. Roman Reigns versus Aleister Black is a match that I I would headline the fucking Survivor Series with that match.
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat.
So what are you wasting this guy for? What are you wasting him for?
Because if you know as well as I do, you put him in the main event of Raw, and he'll be eating pins from Braun Strowman for a month.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, because Vince is going to Vince.
That's
unfortunate.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Right.
Women's match.
Okay, we gotta address the news from yesterday.
Let's
Do
the match first. Then we'll.
Do
the match first.
It was an excellent match.
I like the second best WWE Women's match I've ever seen. Maybe third behind. We talked behind Banks and Bayley, number one for sure with a bullet, and number two, the one from what is it? The end, the Banks and what the fuck's her name? Becky Lynch that I talked about earlier. Was that from the end, or what was that from?
From Unstoppable.
From Unstoppable, yes.
That was Banks Lynch was from NXT Takeover Unstoppable.
Maybe number two to that. Two excellent matches. Easily third, maybe second.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best women's matches. One of the best matches of regardless of gender. This company's put out in a long time. Great match.
Spectacular.
I went 4.5. I don't know about you. I went a very high 4.5. I can be talked into 4 3/4 on a good day, but I went a very high 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going like purely objective, and if looking at this match in an echo chamber and taking out all of the outside shit, I would give it a 4.5 easily.
Yeah.
But I do have to say that God, Triple H.
All right.
Fucking why? Literally.
I'm gonna talk you off the cliff, brother Chris.
Literally 5 days. 5 days. 5 days later, she fucking drops the title.
Okay. Two things. One, I'm assuming they weren't going to have her drop the title if she didn't blow her arm out or break her collarbone.
No. That injury is absolutely a fucking work. 100% that is a work. That is absolutely a fucking work. There is no chance in hell that she came out on that stage. If she had a broken collarbone, there's no way she came out on that stage in a fucking pantsuit with no brace or sling or anything, and it had Triple H and William Regal both raising her hands and giving her flowers and hugging her and her waving to the fucking crowd. If she has a fucking broken collarbone, that is not fucking happening. Okay. This injury is a work because Asuka is 36 years old, has been performing night in and night out for a fucking year and a half as the NXT Women's Champion, and is banged up to all hell because she also has 13 years of hard fucking mileage on her body and needs a break because she's only got a few years left in the tank. She's 36 years old, and she's been getting the shit kicked out of her by the best in the world for the entirety of her career. I mean, you talked about the fucking match against Minoru Suzuki, and that's like
a typical Saturday night for her.
Yeah, that's basic bitch stuff for her.
Yeah, that is a normal run of the mill Saturday at Corkin Hall for Asuka.
Yeah. Asuka fucking going through a table with Nikki Cross. That's the high end of shit for her, and that's not even. And she's still not even breaking a sweat with that stuff. But yeah, you're 36 years old. That stuff is going to catch up with you eventually, and it's catching up with her now.
Especially when you're relatively small like she is.
Yeah. So, begs the question.
Okay.
I understand that Asuka's a special performer. I followed her career in the Indies. I've seen some of her best matches. I know what she's capable of. But she's 36 fucking years old.
Okay.
And you've built her up to be this fucking Brock Lesnar style monster. But she does not have the schedule of Brock Lesnar. She's not able to take months off at a time to rest her body and to, put herself into prime shape for being in the ring, and to take one night's worth of bumps and then be able to take, long sections of time off. She's in there night in and night out in the trenches with everybody else. She's going to be right alongside there with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, putting in, when she goes up to the main roster, she's going to be putting in, 200, 300 matches a year if she is, she's working the house show loop like everybody else in the main roster does. So, how long do you think she's going to last?
Well, the women's house show loop is generally very tag heavy.
Even still, though.
Yes, but she's not going through tables on random house show in Dubuque, Iowa. Let's not assert that that's going to happen.
No, of course I wouldn't assert that that's going to happen, especially not on the regular.
I get your point, but I think you're getting lost here. I think you're getting a little straying away from your main argument.
The main point.
Go on.
The main point of it is this. It's that literally 5 days after Asuka takes out her most credible challenger, and basically leaves the entire women's division of NXT a smoking ruin because there's nobody left. Then she drops the title. So you're basically telling the remains in a smoking ruin that, okay, now you can, compete for the title on a level playing field and try to get yourselves over, even though you've spent the last year and a half getting punked out by Asuka. How do you expect these people to get themselves over? Please tell me how you expect this to work.
I'm going to give you two scenarios. Ready? Two hypotheticals.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetical 1. Asuka enters the main roster the exact same way she's doing it. Let's say she's going to Raw, just because. But it doesn't matter. But I'm going to put her on Raw, only because that way my dad can watch her. I want my dad to watch her.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Satin is speculating that she's supposed to go to Raw.
Sure, but it doesn't matter for my hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay. Hypothetical number 1. Asuka enters the main roster. She goes to Raw, comes in undefeated. Will be shot straight to the top of the card on either show. Has an undefeated streak. Mm-hmm. Can be used as a credible main eventer at any time due to that undefeated streak. Vince builds her up to fight a credible challenger to beat this monster. Someone beats her at WrestleMania, gets a rub. That's scenario number 1. Okay? Or scenario number 2. Asuka drops the belt to Ember Moon on Saturday. Goes to the main roster with a single loss. Doesn't come in undefeated. Isn't protected because she's no longer undefeated. Jobs on Raw because she's no longer undefeated. Loses, goes 50-50 with the lovely Alicia Fox because she's no longer undefeated. Vince can do whatever he wants to her because she's no longer undefeated.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, and I'm gonna borrow this point. I'm gonna give credit here to our buddy Swift. Made this point on Twitter last night after reading spoilers, and Twitter was fucking blowing up as this was happening.
By the way, she'll be in front of an audience that's anywhere from 10 to 20 times larger on Monday Night Raw than she was in NXT.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
But
talk about protecting her and putting over somebody.
But here's the thing, and this is what we have to remember here. To expect that Vince is going to book her properly and to handle the streak properly and use it effectively is to just completely ignore 2 years worth of history here.
I disagree. You know why? I saw that and I disagree. You know why? Her character is basically Joshi Bill Goldberg. And if there's one thing Vince knows how to book in the year of our Lord 2017, it's unbeatable monsters.
If it's a man, sure. But do you really think that Vince is going to give a shit because she's a woman? Vince doesn't care about the women except when he's trying to book them into catfights. It's just fucking proven fact at this point. He's fucked over the women's division on the main roster so many times at this point and made every performer out to look like an idiot so many times at this point that it's not even worth expecting anything other than
she's not Bayley. She's not Bayley though. That people say, oh, well, he fucked up Bayley. He'll fuck about.
Sasha Banks isn't Bayley either. She lost 4 straight pay-per-views. Charlotte isn't Bayley either. She lost her pay-per-view streak a week before a record-breaking pay-per-view for her.
Her gimmick helps though in this regard. There's no backstory like there was with Bayley. Her gimmick is basically, I am a stiff wrestler who likes to kick the shit out of people. Super easy to transfer. We talk about my dad. Right? My dad's a smart wrestling fan. Hasn't watched a minute of NXT in his life. Wouldn't know Asuka. She walked into his office and asked for a financial plan. But Asuka comes out there and starts kicking people. He'll understand who that is. My dad got the revival right away without watching a second of NXT because he's a smart wrestling fan, because the gimmick is translatable.
Charlotte's gimmick was translatable too. She was her father's daughter. And her undefeated streak was supposed to make somebody's career at Mania, and Vince decided to blow it all away in a cloud of ashes a month before Mania. Again,
I can't believe that I'm saying this because this is me and I hate this company. I'm willing to give them the benefit of doubt with her.
I am not. I am 100% not willing to. And I'm also going to point this out as well. Do you really think that Vince is not above blowing Asuka's streak in a fucking dick-waving contest with his son-in-law? Because he's been doing that with a lot of his son-in-law's other talents and other projects.
I don't know if any of them are as bulletproof as she is.
Nobody's bulletproof in Vince McMahon's hands. Nobody.
I'll say this. I'll say this about her, though. Oh, go on.
Here's the thing, and this is a point I made earlier today. Even if he does handle it right, even if he does book her like a monster and have her go undefeated all the way into WrestleMania, who is she going to put over that is not already over as it is? Sasha? Becky? Alexa? All beloved by the fans. That's more than likely not going to change unless there is some egregiously bad writing on the part of the team. And I don't think that is going to happen because I don't think Vince cares enough to do anything that egregiously bad. Bayley has already been ruined to the point where even a win over Asuka wouldn't save her at this point. Charlotte is going to be booked as a legacy. That's a foregone conclusion. Everybody else is everybody else.
A lot of time between now and then.
There is only one person who Asuka could conceivably go over and have it make them within the WWE. And that person is Ronda Rousey. And the fans will fucking kill that if it happens. They will boo it to high heaven. But Vince will do it. Because Vince is Vince, and Vince loves his known commodities, his big names, the ones that are going to get him mainstream attention. I would bet money that if a WrestleMania event happens for a title where Asuka has a title, it's going to be against Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey will win that title. And the crowd will fucking rebel immediately.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about the crowd. We'll talk about the crowd in general in a minute. I don't know who. I haven't figured out yet who she loses to at WrestleMania in my world. I know that in my world that I give her the belt of whatever brand night one. Because if you're going to do this, you should.
And then you have a cavalcade of Sasha Banks marks marching on fucking.
Yeah, I don't care. We've talked about this. I don't care what people say on Twitter.
No, I know. I know you don't care.
I don't care. I'm not booking my company. You're the Roman Reigns fan of the two of us. Come on, man.
I understand that. But that's because Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is Vince's pet project. Again, Vince doesn't give a shit about the women. Vince and Kevin Dunn don't give a shit about portraying the women as legitimate. They don't. It's just fucking proven facts.
Fuck this up. This is the litmus test. This is it. Bayley was not the litmus test.
Nakamura was the litmus test, and he lost to Jinder in one finisher on SummerSlam.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But we're talking the women. We're talking the women. This is the litmus test to see if we can really...
But it's also a foreign woman on top of that. This is not an American woman. This is a Japanese woman on top of that.
This is the litmus test to see if this company, to see if the main roster cares about women the way NXT does.
They don't!
This is it. No, this is it.
Test to know that.
This
it's
is
not
the
going to
last
happen.
and final test.
It's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now. Be prepared to be disappointed.
Test.
I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I'm always disappointed. I watch WWE. I live in disappointment. I revel in disappointment.
Well, be prepared.
That's nothing new.
Be prepared for Asuka's reputation to be squandered on the main roster. I'm telling you right now.
They'll put her on Raw because there's more star power there, but I'd actually put her on SmackDown, and let me tell you why. I find it strange right now that SmackDown has a heel champion, a heel has the briefcase, and Tamina, a heel, is getting pushed up as the de facto number one contender sort of thing, whatever's going on there. Which is bizarre to me that they would do that. Okay. You have a heel champ, a heel has the briefcase, and a heel is getting hyped, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I think Asuka should come on Raw in 3 months, whenever the House should come on Raw in November, the night after SummerSlam, and win the title her first time.
Survivor Series?
Survivor Series, thank you. Survivor Series. Raw or SmackDown. Because if you're going to do this, if you're emphasizing the streak and her unbeatability and her Joshi Bill Goldberg Joshi Brock Lesnar. I don't need her. I don't need her first match to be against Dana Brooke. I need her to come out. I need her to demolish someone. I need to go from there. I haven't yet figured out who would beat her at WrestleMania. I haven't. Maybe a hotshot, someone from the Mae Young. Maybe Baszler. Who the hell knows? I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But I think that's the way to go. I know this. I know this for sure. That if they give the NXT belt to Ember Moon, that Ember Moon is done for. I know that. That's a given.
Oh, they're not going to give it to her.
Thank God. I am not Team Ember, but if you give her the belt and you hand the belt to her and say, "Hey, here, you get the belt," then she is dead woman walking.
No, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal is going to face the winner of the Mae Young Classic.
Sure.
That's going to be how the NXT Women's title is decided.
I saw on the Twitter that people are like, well, just give it to Ember Moon because she lost close or well. I'm like, no, dumb, very stupid. Don't do that. That
was my main complaint. 5 days. You couldn't have her put over a new champion to start the process of rebuilding the division around a strong champion.
Ember's not that champion though.
She could have been.
No, she can't. She can't cut a promo.
Okay, I'm done trying to debate that issue with you.
Ember's a great worker. Great worker.
She's been improving on the mic. She's been getting better. That contract signing was fantastic.
Strong word there. No, it was fine.
You're expecting everybody to deliver Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rockstar.
No, I'm not. I'm expecting her to be a C plus, a C plus B minus, and I'm not even getting that.
Okay, if you think that wasn't a C plus B minus, then I don't know what to tell you. Sorry to say.
I know you're the Ember mark of the two of us, and that's great, but she's not it. And they agree. Otherwise, they would have put her over twice.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that they were just trying to preserve the streak, and I think that it's either going to be her or Kairi. That's who it is. But it's going to be either one of them. And neither one of them. I mean, if you want to talk about mic work, no offense to Kairi Sane, because she's an even better worker than Ember Moon is. But Kairi Sane can't speak English properly right now. She delivered one sentence of English in her promo on the Mae Young Classic bracketology, and the rest of it was all in Japanese with subtitles. She's working on her English, but she's not there yet either. So it's either going to be good ring worker who can't speak English, or good ring worker who can speak English and is not necessarily at the highest level of speaking command, but can still cut promos.
Who do you put the belt on?
It's going to be either one of them, and I would put it on Ember because she's a known commodity.
Why is
Kairi Chase?
So Sane is coming out of the Mae Young in your world?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they've given it. The tournaments that have been run by Triple H have all been won by babyfaces, and Kairi is the best babyface to ever babyface, and she's got the best. She's got the best technique. So I think that she comes out of it as the winner, and I think that
Takeover SummerSlam, which I think is Houston, right?
Takeover Survivor Series.
God damn it, George!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Takeover Survivor Series is going to be the winner of the Mae Young versus the winner of your hypothetical Battle Royal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Tanya, good point. Asuka can't cut a promo either. She barely speaks English, and yet she had the title for a year and a half.
True, so, but I think it's a little different. True, very true. But I think it's a little different when you have unstoppable monster. Which the Asuka's inability to cut a promo in English is a problem when it comes to the main roster, because the main roster is promo land.
I'll be perfectly honest. Ember Moon, Adrian Reese was mishandled from the moment that she was signed with NXT, because she was fucking working the Florida Loop for a year before she even saw TV time. So she was mishandled right out the gate. So this whole thing was fucked right from the beginning. But she got herself over on her work rate alone and made it work, even though she spent the first few months of her time on NXT TV slumming it with fucking Aaliyah and Liv Morgan in a feud against the Icons.
That was a problem.
But she made it work, and she got the people behind her, and the slow build got her over with the crowd. The crowd fucking loved her. Did you hear that crowd when she hit the Eclipse? The roof fucking blew off the place. They loved it. And then Asuka fucking kicked out of it and just killed what was supposed to be a lethal finisher. And just killed its fucking effectiveness in 1 second. I mean, you want to talk about mishandling of a performer? Adrian Reese, I'm sorry, but you have been fucking just ruined by Paul Levisk. I'm sorry. It's
Chris
so
going with the shoot names.
I am.
Chris is heated. Chris is heated.
I am so angry about this. You don't even know. Like,
oh, I know.
And then
I follow you on Twitter. I know.
The end of this fucking, forfeiture of the belt ceremony that happened last night. Ember has to stand right in front and center at the top of the ring, clap for her, clap for the
big problem,
and then had to go down to the ring and give her a hug. Which I get.
I saw that and I was like, you guys are dumbasses.
I get that the two of them are great friends.
The
two of them are great friends outside of the ring, but
keep it off
that
screen.
was fucking just the stupidest thing.
Keep it on now. Keep it off screen. You know how I feel about that shit. I saw that on the.
It's one thing.
I saw that on the Twitter. I was like, oh.
It's one thing when it was Nakamura and Balor, as the two of them had a respect match. At the end of Finn's run. I
saw that and I was like, we got problems here, people.
To be honest. But this was supposed to be a fucking heated feud. This is almost as bad as the freaking curtain call. And we're not even at a point where kayfabe is that real anymore.
No, but
it's almost as bad as that.
Still,
Jesus.
Still. All right. Anything else before we finish up NXT?
Main event.
Do you care about the main event?
I care about.
I thought it was very good. I thought it was an excellent match.
I enjoyed it. It was probably the Bobby Roode match that I enjoyed the most of his title matches.
I'm weird, as we've discussed. I've enjoyed all of his title matches, the title defenses, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's funny because Bobby Roode generally doesn't do a whole lot for me, although I'm coming around on him a lot. But I enjoyed both of his Nakamura matches. The one I was at in San Antonio we discussed was just off the charts great in terms of just heat and how the psychology. And I thought this match was really, really good.
It was all right. It wasn't. By
the way, did you like the credits rolling gimmick they did again?
Yep, I think that's going to be a standard thing now, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's very smart. I went 3.5 on this match.
I think I went 4.
Drew fucking just killed it as he is wont to do. Drew is great. I love what he's doing, and I hope he gets back to the main roster and starts challenging for the top belt soon, and justifies all the hype that has been about him for years and years because he was great.
He's so much better now than he was the first time.
Yeah.
He went to wrestling finishing school.
And he looks the part, too.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. Like
Drew's hit the gym.
All it took was a little bit more muscle definition and the facial hair. And he fucking looks the part.
Drew's hitting the gym.
Yeah.
Hitting the protein shakes.
Yeah. Yeah. You trying to insinuate something here?
I'm just, on the body mark here. I'm just saying, a lot of protein shakes, a lot of heavy protein shakes. I'll say this though, in all honesty, it's much easier to get in shape when you live in the same area and are not on the road as often as Drew was flying cross country.
Yeah,
you can work out when you want. You can eat super clean.
Yeah, he's done the reverse Kevin Owens.
Yes.
This is what it was essentially.
By the way, who else has hit the protein shakes a little bit? Your friend of mine, Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke 6-pack, baby.
Yeah.
Back. It was like watching 2006 New Japan.
Yeah.
Shinsuke 6-pack.
That was supposed to be good.
Comeback.
That was good stuff. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, there's some ass peeking down there. No more baby fat.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
I like this match. I like Bobby Roode. I'm glad he's in the main roster. I would not have debuted him the way he did. I would have debuted him. I would have given him a Nakamura treatment and hot shot him into the upper mid card, but whatever. And I definitely would have had him sell. Well, what the hell was that on SmackDown? He's selling for Aiden English.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I mean,
SmackDown needs depth. It's obvious that the Mike Kanellis thing is a disaster.
Main roster is going to main roster. That's what they do.
They pulled the plug on the Mike Kanellis debacle.
Good.
So
as they should.
Yes, good, because he is not a WWE standard worker.
Yeah, oh yeah. I like that. I like Marcel's idea. Just send him right up to Raw. McIntyre versus Reigns, the chosen one, the once chosen one versus the one who could actually stand up to the firing squad and survive. Over under from Duke. Over under from Duke would be 4.25 stars. I dig it.
McIntyre versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
No, that's that would be good because
that's 4.5 on a day when both of them are sleeping.
I was about to say that's that match would be very good. Very good.
Spear into a Claymore.
Sure.
Fucking spot of the year right there. The crowd would lose their shit.
I mean, how great was the Drew McIntyre Oney Lorcan match? And Roman Reigns is better than Oney Lorcan.
Yep.
Right.
And then Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby, who's smaller than you think, by the way.
Yeah.
Could be a problem in NXT. Could be a problem on the main roster.
I think it's going to work though, because once they bring the stable together, I mean, he's going to look really tall standing next to Lio Rush.
Yes, because Lio Rush is like 5'4".
Yeah. I mean, Dijak is going to make them all look like midgets, but you know what? That's all right.
That's okay. Dijak is a giant man in general.
Did you see the stories that some of the dirt sheets were running this week talking about how Dijak and Rush are like problem children or some shit like that?
No.
Oh my god, that was hilarious! Like bringing up that they've both had like attitude problems in previous tryouts or some shit. It's like
Lio Rush I can believe, but it doesn't. I mean,
Dijak, I absolutely do not believe that about.
No, not at all.
One of the most humble people ever. I think that this was like something that Paul or somebody else in the NXT higher ups is getting the dirt sheets to run so that they set the groundwork effectively for when those two debut.
I love WWE Game of Thrones shit like that. I don't know why I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Oh man.
SummerSlam. Go on. I'm sorry.
The last thing I'm going to say is I know it will never happen, but if Adam Cole comes to the ring with his New Japan music, it will be like it'll never happen. But that would be like a making my year moment from NXT because Adam Cole's New Japan music is so damn good. I fucking love it. It's better than Kevin. It's like that was like New Japan's answer to Kevin Owens' entrance theme, and it's better than Kevin Owens' entrance theme. So fucking good. I don't care about the gratuitous number of times that they say Adam Cole baby in the song. It's still just so damn good. If you like a good rock and metal riff just played ad nauseum, look up Adam Cole's entrance music on YouTube because it's so fucking great. Specifically his New Japan entrance music, not his ROH entrance music. So
thank you for the tip, my friend. I will.
Yeah. I mean, you heard it. They played it at Wrestle Kingdom. You've heard it before.
Yeah, of course. But I'm always looking for new workout music, so that'll work out perfectly.
Yeah.
SummerSlam. I did not watch this opening match, which puts me in common with everyone else because there was no one in the building.
I saw it and
I didn't see it. I can't. I have nothing on this match.
I have nothing on the match too because I don't even remember it. It was just that fucking just boring.
There was like 6 people in the crowd for this match.
It's like you want to tell me that people should be invested in Jason Jordan as a singles performer. This is not the way to do it. No. Putting him out there to suplex fucking Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel ad nauseum is not going to get him over.
Taker's Minion pointed this out, and I was a guest on his podcast for a little bit Saturday morning before I had to leave to help a friend adopt a dog, and he found a beautiful dog. That dog.
That's awesome.
Named it Mookie because he's a Pearl Jam fan.
Nice, good choice.
Yes. But anyway, he pointed this out. Props to Bo Dallas for wearing the glove like Blackjack Mulligan used to do, which made me very. He used to wear one. He wears one. Bo Dallas wears one glove like his ancestor, like he's ancient, like
his grandfather.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I was like ancestor.
This is
Blackjack Mulligan did used to do.
From the WWF 47.
Yeah, exactly. Ancestor, like it's Assassin's Creed or something. The memory of your ancestors. Props to Bo Dallas for wearing the one black glove like Blackjack Mulligan used to do his grandfather. So Taker's Minion pointed that out, and I wanted to echo that. That's always a nice little touch. Yeah. But the rest of this match was just whatever. The bits and pieces I saw on Twitter.
Moving on.
Neville Tozawa.
This was a dumb finish. It was a great match, but dumb finish. Word is that apparently Vince had Tozawa win the title on Raw just to quote unquote shake things up, and now Neville's next challengers are going to be Cedric and Enzo, and it's like, thanks for fucking wasting Tozawa in that way and just bring it right back to Division Killer Neville. Way to go!
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great match. I mean, these guys are incredibly talented, but
especially I thought Neville was doing good work on Twitter and stuff without the crown.
Yeah,
I would have liked to explore that aspect of his character.
Yeah, give him more time.
As the shattered ex-king.
Yeah,
I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah,
but alas,
they could have done the 205 Live equivalent to Laurel Van Ness's gimmick going on in GFW.
Yeah.
Just going around fucking disheveled as shit.
Why am I giving this company the benefit of the doubt with Asuka when they fucked everything else up?
Exactly!
What's wrong with me? I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. Emphasis on cautiously. All right.
I'm trying to make the point to you, and you're just not seeing it.
I'm probably going to be wrong. In fact, I'm most likely going to be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's this company, and I don't understand what is going on.
Yeah, Neville should have been beaten already so many times.
He
had all his matches with Jack Gallagher. Jack should have won at some point during that. Now he's just fucking disappeared. Tozawa just had a 6-day title reign. This is almost as bad as when they had Kalisto win the U.S. title and then lose it 2 days later to fucking Del Rio.
It wasn't bad at all. This next match.
Oh yeah, this was the one of the best matches of the night.
Second or third. I thought both tag matches were equally great, and the main event was kick ass.
Exactly. Same.
Second or third. This match kicked ass. I am all in on, as we've talked about over and over and over again. I cannot talk about how great the Usos are.
Mm-hmm.
Heel Usos are my jam, are my life, are my spirit animal, or whatever the hell else you want to say. Whatever the hell else comparison you want. Heel Usos are it. I love them.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. I mean, this gimmick has been just revelatory for them. They've nailed almost. They have nailed every aspect of it, and just brought everybody back around on them. I mean, it used to be the Usos would come out and do their war chant, and nobody would cheer along or get into it or anything. And now they come out and people pay fucking attention. It's not paranoia. It's the Usos.
The promos are awesome. Their in-ring is awesome. Them doing better super kicks than Matt and Nick are awesome. They're great. I love them. They're definitely going to get a spot on our tag team of the year when we do the show end.
Undoubtedly.
We do our ballots. We do our ballots for Dave.
Yeah, well deserved too.
Sure.
There's only one thing bad about this match, as Sal said. It was on the fact that it was on the pre-show was the only thing that was bad about this match.
That's it. Although I probably got more time because it was on the pre-show.
True.
I don't know. Maybe. Mm-hmm. It was right before the show aired, right? Wasn't
this went right up until I think
the entrances were 5:30 my time, 6:30 your time.
Yeah,
it was pre-show, but it wasn't it was right.
It wasn't buried in the pre-show. I mean, I want to say by the time the match ended, the countdown timer towards the start of SummerSlam was at 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. So they definitely got a good amount of time, and they capitalized on it. So well done.
John Cena. Oh, anything else before we move on?
I look forward to this feud continuing. I hope it does.
I'm ready to move on. But then again, these 4 are awesome. These 5, I should say, are awesome together.
These five are fantastic together. They work.
They've differentiated the matches in such a way that it has not yet become stale.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would certainly be okay with them moving on to a new feud after the rematch is exercised. But I also would not mind them coming back to it down the line because these guys have proven that they work incredibly well together.
They do.
It also
Xavier Woods, by the way, has really showed me something in the ring the past 6 months or so.
In some ways, this match makes me actually want to go back and rewatch some of the Usos New Day matches from 2015 when alignments were reversed and New Day
Sounds like a match of the week to me, brother Christopher.
Yeah, not even like yes, the match of the week, but also just as like an exploratory thing to see like what changed. If it was it really just the alignment shift that changed things? Because let's be fair here. New Day as faces and Usos as heels, very different dynamics from when Usos were faces and New Day were heels. They're different types on each end of this.
Who's selling, and even the match itself was laid out almost a mirror image, because then the faces would be the ones selling and the heels would be the ones running interference, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be interested in do a little deep dive.
Yeah, I'll have to make some time for that after I get back from my trip. I mean, I have Labor Day off.
Are you flying? Are you driving? Are you flying?
My buddy's driving. We're doing a.
You can watch in the car. You can watch in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have unlimited data.
Oh, don't then. It'll whip your data to bits.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of NXT at the laundromat, and it was like a gig of data in the hour of the laundromat. So keep that. If you don't have unlimited data, don't do that.
No, but I have Labor Day off. I get back the day before Labor Day. I have Labor Day off, and I'm gonna want to recover from.
You have 4 days. Labor on Labor Day. How ironic! Hint. Ha ha ha. Har har.
Maybe this will be a something to look over.
Worst ways to spend a Monday afternoon.
Yep. All right. John Cena has buried Baron Corbin. Don't care. Yep. Next.
By the way, 1AA. Geek.
Bye, Baron.
Bye. It's been real.
Can't wait for you to be the next enforcer for LAX over in GFW.
Bye. Peace and love. Get the hell out. Go replace Bad Luck Fale in New Japan and get the hell out of my life. Natalya beat Naomi. Naomi straight out of the Sasha Banks school of, oh man, I'm on a job and now I'm really sad face.
Why did they do this? Oh wait, because Natalya and Tyson want to sue the company.
Yes. Others have suggested this theory, and I am on board.
Yeah, this is the only way that this makes sense. Because Natalya holding a title in fucking 2017, again, and as you pointed out before, heel holding the title, heel holding the briefcase. Come on.
Heel being elevated as the de facto #1 contender.
Yeah, that too, yeah. And meanwhile, Charlotte and Becky, nowhere to be fucking found.
MIA, sipping on tea in the back at catering.
Criminally
we didn't
bad.
Talk about this next match. Too bad, because I enjoyed the Naomi title run. I really did.
Yeah, I did too. I would have loved for it to continue.
I enjoyed it a lot. I've come full circle on her. She's really gotten so much better.
I would have loved for it to end with a Becky Lynch versus Naomi respect match.
Sure.
For the title. I think those two for a title match could have put on a hell of a show.
Yep.
Oh God. Oh God. I don't want to talk about this match.
Brother Chris, I'm going to say something and I want you to agree or disagree.
Okay.
Was this match was the worst match of the year that didn't involve Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Only because the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt matches are their own separate pantheon of shit.
This belonged on a GFW one night only special. That's where this belonged. This match belonged on a fucking GFW one night only special.
Yeah.
This never should have seen the light of day.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
And that's 10 minutes too long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. This is fucking abysmal. Big Show deserved better than this.
This match got 30 seconds less than Natalya and Naomi.
Big Show deserves better than this for his lifetime of service to the company and for all the good stuff that he does outside of the ring. He deserves better than this. I mean, if you want to fucking deal some shit at Enzo because he's got heat, then do it outside of the ring.
See, that's what I don't understand. Only in wrestling can you do this shit.
Yeah.
Like if you have a problem with a coworker in a real job, you go to HR. In wrestling, you do dumb shit like this, and everyone's okay with it.
Yeah.
Wrestling is both the best and worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like if I have a problem with one of my coworkers, I don't go to broker court where the Roman Reigns equivalent of my office sits in broker's court and decides the fate of the guy. But in wrestling, that's totally acceptable because wrestling is crazy. And I'm not even blaming Roman. I'm just saying that's in general. Wrestling is crazy.
Listen, if you want to punish Enzo, just Take him off TV. That's the biggest punishment you can give him because the fans fucking love
205 Live. That's punishment.
Well, he's going to help that show because the fans still love him. He's going to help the show.
It's so dumb because despite all the other shit, he's still an asset. He still moves merch.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you really want to check this guy's ego, if his ego is the problem, and you want to check this guy's ego and try and do something to get him to realize that he's being a shit and he needs to get his act in line, then don't put him on TV. Deprive him of that thing which is clearly feeding his ego, because every time he comes out and the crowd is saying his entrance along with him and cheering for every dumb fucking joke that he drops, that's feeding his ego. It's simple psychology. I know that Vince is fucking deranged, but you have to know that much. He lives that. That's Vince in a nutshell.
This match was so bad.
My God.
So bad.
Ugh.
As we like to say, why God, why?
Yeah, why God, why? The thing that started this show way back when December of last year with the Roadblock End of the Line recap show that we did. Why God, why? Speaking of why God, why? Although actually, I will.
I popped because
I'm a fan of this. 10 seconds.
I popped. I texted you. I said that was the best thing in the world.
10 seconds. Randy Orton defeated Rusev with one RKO.
I loved it. Yeah,
and supposedly, this is the start of a feud for the two of them. This is going to build from here.
I knew this was trouble. I knew this was trouble when they gave away the RKO on SmackDown on the Go Home show. I'm like, we're gonna have a little bit of trouble here. Mm-hmm. And then they did this, and that was that. I will say this: Rusev channeling his inner RVD and taking that RKO on the top of his head was great and terrible at the same time.
Guy's crazy talented, but
yeah, don't do that.
That was dumb.
That being said, I am all in on Rusev in Suzuki-gun or something because there's.
No, I don't think he's going anywhere. But if he does, he better take Lana with him.
Vince seriously hates the guy because he's married to the hot blonde. I'm convinced of it.
I'm convinced of it too. 100%. I believe that because Vince is that crazy to fucking have that level of displaced hate. I 100% believe that. So yeah, I mean, if they decide to stick around, great. If they decide to leave, then you know what? God help me, Rusev had better get a better gimmick wherever he lands, and because he is crazy talented.
Yep.
But fucking leave his crazy wife at home.
Oh, I mean, also a little reticent about women in New Japan. We've discussed this. They don't handle women well in general.
All we need to do is look at fucking Yujiro Takahashi's girls.
They don't handle women well in New Japan at all.
Yeah, let me just say, as a side note, completely unrelated, but after listening to one too many fucking Bullet Club matches with English commentary, I've now sworn off English commentary on New Japan World because Don Callis makes me want to rip my eardrums out of my head.
I told you I screwed up when I watched the Naito match, and I had Don
Callis. Oh my God!
It's 6:30 on a Sunday morning. I'm half awake, and I got Don Callis screaming in my ear about selling.
Oh my God!
God, kill me!
The fucking worst.
Sasha Alexa.
Hey, you know what? Good for Sasha for finally winning the title on pay-per-view.
Yeah, this match was good. I enjoyed it.
It was a pretty good match. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but it was good.
Sasha Banks good at professional wrestling. Breaking news. Who knew?
I mean, the chief complaint that I've seen a lot of people give, and I'll share in this, is that the finish definitely just came out of fucking nowhere. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Everybody thought it was a botch. But hey,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that time and again. Kind of gives it an MMA fight, an MMA shoot fight feel. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you slap an armbar on a guy out of nowhere and you get him to tap out. Mm-hmm. Same concept. I'm okay with that now and again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Randy Orton's whole gimmick is out of nowhere.
Yeah. That is what Randy Orton pays his bills with nowadays.
Yes. I'm actually wearing my Randy Orton out of nowhere t-shirt.
Nice. I have that shirt too. It's
with the little stick people.
No, I have the one with the RKO And the O is the snake, and then on the back it says hashtag RKO out of nowhere.
Oh, I have the one where it's
blue one.
RKO. You know those the people put on their vans, their stick family bullshit.
Yeah.
You know people put on their minivans.
Yep.
I have one where he's RKOing one of those people.
Nice. That's perfect.
It's pretty great. I'm actually wearing it now because it's gray, and I was wearing a gray hoodie today.
I'm actually wearing my Progress New York shirt right now.
Nice.
Are we going to start doing what Not Your Demographic does and talk about which shirt we're wearing? What wrestling shirt we're wearing?
It's either going to be a wrestling shirt or a sports shirt because that's all I own.
Yeah, mine's either going to be a wrestling shirt or some sort of sci-fi geekery shirt.
Yeah, I own very few, or a free shirt my company's giving me for various functions.
I swear, Stella and Aaron, we're not trying to steal your gimmick, but I mean, it's a really good gimmick.
We can't have you are. Well, what happens at Lady Gaga, by the way, at Wrigley Field? I should have gone to that. I think that'll be, but I should have gone to that, but then I wouldn't be able to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, we can't
talk to you.
We can't have 2 weeks without that in a row.
Because Chris, you and I are a bad romance.
It's a really bad romance.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to shoehorn that in.
Nice.
Where were we? Oh, Finn and Bray.
God, no. The less said about this,
Finn Balor's pirate stash?
The less said about this, the better.
How about Finn? I'm done with Bray Wyatt. I'm done. Yeah. Go away. Get the fuck
Send
off my television.
NJPW. I don't care that he's a legacy. Send him the fuck to Impact.
You know what? I loved Bray Wyatt when he was cult leader, and all he had was the power of the spoken word and the charisma of his words.
Yeah, I mean, you've said that so many times now.
I hate him that he's supernatural mumbo jumbo voodoo witch doctor bullshit.
I mean,
go back to the swamp. Go away. Get off my television. Don't come back.
I'm glad that they didn't make the mistake of jobbing out the demon to fucking Bray Wyatt.
I need more, by the way. I still need a reason why Finn. I still need a reason why Finn isn't the demon all the time.
This I will say.
But
I will give this match credit for one single thing, only one. But this is the first time where I actually saw a difference in Finn's persona and portrayal of himself,
especially
as
early.
The demon. The demon.
Early, yes. Then once he got into it and it got into get my shit in mode, he started to turn back into Finn Balor. But early, yes.
And late in the match too, especially when he just
right. The first minute and the last minute, he was different. Yeah. The eight in between was like any other Finn Balor match.
Yeah.
It was Finn Balor cosplaying as the demon.
Yeah, but that was also because they had to have himself or Bray Wyatt, because God knows why.
God, I hate this match. Let's talk about a match that I loved.
Oh, this was a fantastic match.
This match kicked ass. This match was great.
The band is 2/3 back together, and that's all we ever want.
That's it. That's all we need. This match rocked.
The Shield. We'll call them the Shield.
The Shield.
Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Shield.
Shield. I love it.
That's all we need.
Let's just sell T-shirts. I thought this was Dean Ambrose's best in-ring work in a long time, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It helps that he's teaming with and going against three guys who were very good at in-ring work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about Rollins going for that tope and getting caught?
Oh yeah.
How about Rollins bumping like it was 2015 again?
Oh my God! And
maybe he has confidence in his leg. We've talked about this. Maybe he has confidence in his leg finally.
I thank God for that. But Sheamus and Cesaro fucking doing yeoman's work of being vicious heels.
Yep.
God, they have.
I want these two to be teammates forever. I want them to. 30 years from now, I want them to be touring the Indies as teammates in at 65 years old, beating the crap out of people.
Like
the Rock and Roll Express do. That's what I want.
They've done so well with this, and like they really turned it on, because like as opposed to working with the Hardys, where you have to be kind of careful because those guys are, they're old and
will be broken. Maybe
and will be broken, but you can get physical with a Dean Ambrose or a Seth Rollins and not worry about oh God, I broke a hip.
Exactly.
Which is not to say that the Hardys are that old, but that's the
they're getting there. That's
the first thing that came to mind. So.
Yeah.
Seth
Rollins' giant frog splash of death where he turned in midair was so great.
Yeah. Well done. Great adjustment on the fly.
Yep.
I mean, we don't say this enough, but the little things matter.
They really do.
And this was a match where Seth finally started to show. Oh yeah, I remember the little things.
We give him so much shit for not doing the little things that all four of these guys nailed everything in this match. I loved this match. This may have been my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah. I went one main event, and then the two tag titles were tied for a second.
Yeah, I think I did the same
I couldn't decide between the two of them because they both were so well done.
Exactly.
I would
I'd
have
have
no problem.
It's like picking between your kids.
I would have no problem with watching both of those tag title rematches happen at the next several pay-per-views.
Oh, absolutely. I would love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any deep thoughts on AJ Kevin Owens besides the fact that Shane McMahon got blown up refereeing? Like gives a real props to Mike Chioda and stuff for being able to ref and not get blown up.
Yeah, really. Never put Shane McMahon in a ring again.
Yeah.
First of all, and second of all, I mean,
I will say this:
I'm done.
Owens yelling, "You fall off buildings and you can't get up to count 3" was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome, but I'm just tired of saying the same shit about Kevin Owens phoning it in that I just don't even have the energy for it anymore.
Yep.
I mean, when you're phoning it in against fucking AJ Styles, like, come the fuck on, dude.
Yep.
Just fucking send yourself back to NXT. Seriously.
Yep.
This
can't argue with that.
Because this is garbage. I mean, you're supposed to be one of the best in the world. You have fucking marks all over the internet eating out of the palm of your hand. And I get that you're a good guy. You've got a family and a wife, and you do great stuff. You donated a shitload of money to Sami Zayn's Fund for Syria. And you know what? I am proud of you for that. But come the fuck on. Do your job, man. This was not you. You did not do your job here. You did.
Can't argue with it.
You did a job, but you did not do your job. I mean, AJ Styles.
I find it very strange that we live in a world where Shane McMahon had a better match with AJ Styles than Kevin Owens did.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where we are. And I blame Kevin Owens.
Duke with the fucking VIP or MVP moment here. To quote Baron Corbin, go back to Ring of Honor.
Truth.
Fucking yeah. And Tanya too. You know, Cornette warned us. I mean, as much as I hate Jim Cornette, and I hate Jim Cornette, but
you certainly do.
He warned us. Jesus.
Yes, problems. But Kevin Owens at least we only got one chin lock. I think we only got one chin lock. So that's a step in the right direction. I think we only got one chin lock.
But then the TV,
I may have blacked out for a few minutes in the middle.
That TV rematch was probably worse. The rematch that happened on SmackDown was worse. Jesus.
Yeah, Baron Corbin was the second best part of that match, and I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Corbin was fine as a ref. Yeah. I thought Corbin did his job well, actually. He was better at his job than Owens was at his.
Corbin's better as a ref than he is as a wrestler.
Corbin's better as a ref right now than Owens is as a wrestler.
Oh my God.
I'm not wrong.
I know you're not wrong. It's so weird.
All right, Jinder Mahal beat Shinsuke Nakamura. God, kill me.
Yeah.
I had a hot take earlier about how there were a lot of similarities between Jinder and Naomi, but I thought better of it.
There are no similarities.
No, there are some. The entrance kicks ass. They both look great. They're both useful in short doses. But Naomi's so much better than Jinder Mahal. They both have great facial expressions. Naomi's kick-ass smile and Jinder's scowl. They're both.
Naomi worked her way up to the top the hard way. Jinder got put at the top because he represented an ethnic group.
Exactly. They both have great music, so there's some similarities there.
There are some similarities, but it's pure.
Naomi's so much. It's just that Naomi's so much better. It's astonishing.
Yeah. But God, one Colossus and Jinder couldn't even do that right.
How about SmackDown last week? We didn't talk about this. Where him and Corbin, they botched the schoolboy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's like a day one of wrestling school move, and they botched it. That's how bad Jinder and Corbin are that they botched the schoolboy.
Yeah. Jinder botched his own finisher in this match.
Yeah. You know what?
His own finisher.
Nakamura showed up too.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah. I gave this match 2.5 stars, and all of it was for Nakamura trying to fucking drag any semblance of a decent match out of Jinder Mahal.
If we got Zombie Nakamura, Sleepwalk Nakamura, this would have been like a -star match.
Yeah, this would have been the worst.
This would have been a big show cast.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, Nakamura tried.
We had one of those on the card, and one was too many.
Yep. Nakamura tried, so you can't even say that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He really, like, there's not a lot of guys, and ladies in this company who are objectively worse than Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Like, who's worse than Jinder Mahal? Tamina? And the poor girl can't move because of her knees.
Lana.
Like,
that's because she doesn't.
Lana?
She thinks she's entitled to everything.
Kurt Hawkins?
I would actually argue that Kurt Hawkins is actually better than Jinder.
Kurt Hawkins had a bad match with AJ Styles, though.
Yeah, but
so did Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is better than Jinder.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the list of people who are worse than Jinder Mahal is a very short list.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't want to get angry on a Friday talking about Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, just
enough
of that.
Let's talk about how great this match was.
Oh my God, the hossiest of Hoss fests. Oh, let me just say.
I thought the first half was awesome, and the second half was just pretty good. Emphasis on just pretty good. Doesn't mean it was bad or as. The first half kicked ass. The second half I thought was a little draggy.
I enjoyed the whole match, but I do have to get one point out of the way. I went back and finished up watching the G1 matches that I wanted to watch, and one of those on the list was Okada Evil.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure that Braun watched that match and got the idea for the chair spot from that match. Because the last man standing match where he first broke out, the chair spot happened right after Okada Evil.
We know WWE talent has New Japan watch parties.
Yeah,
we know this because I think it was AJ and Charlotte were tweeting from the back of a car the night of Wrestle Kingdom when somebody was driving and they were watching New Japan on their phones.
That's so good.
Or something. Maybe Sasha was involved, or because I remember I was.
I know Sasha's a mark for Japanese wrestling. I would not
know that they have Wrestle Kingdom parties.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if, hey, did you see this in the G1 last night?
Yeah.
I want to try that. Like, that would not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Like the spot where Evil just chucks the chair at Okada's head. I'm pretty sure Braun and Roman saw that and said, you know what, we should do that spot. And then it happened in the last man standing match. I mean, granted, it was a fucking office chair, which is probably a great deal heavier than the chair that Evil threw. It was an even more awesome spot, but still.
They're not light. They're not light.
Give credit where credit's due there. And then
this match also smelled of Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which the signature moves that everyone does over and over again because it'll keep people in the match. Mm-hmm. Made Strowman look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Made Lesnar look like $1 million.
Yeah.
This match, I cannot say enough good things about this match. I went 4 3/4. I love this match.
Yeah. And I'm gonna repeat the point that I made on Twitter, and I got into a fucking argument for like 2 hours after SummerSlam with a friend of mine who I just don't even want to talk to about wrestling anymore because of this argument. Roman's record on pay-per-view in 2017 is 2-6. If you want to talk about fucking getting shoved down your throats again, come up with a more current argument, please. Because that's at least a year old now.
Has he main evented every Raw show? Off the top of your head? Well, he main evented this one, right?
Yeah.
What's the pay-per-view before this one? No, it was Brock Joe. It was Brock Joe, so he did not main event that one.
Yep.
He was semi-main with the ambulance match, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's actually go back here because that was Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire did not main event.
Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules. Did he main event that one or not?
That was the 5-way. So yes, he was part of the main event.
The one before that is what? WrestleMania. He main evented that.
Wait, was it Payback? Was Payback a Raw show? Payback was a Raw show.
Yes.
So, that was Braun Roman. So yes, he did main event that one.
Okay. WrestleMania, he obviously main evented.
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble, he obviously main evented because he was in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
So he's main evented every pay-per-view this year, and the one he did not main event, he was in the 7-man spot, right?
I mean, he had the most impactful spot of the show. So.
Well, yeah, but I'm not picking a side here. I'm just trying to make sure that's what happened.
Yes, that is accurate. Yes. But here's the thing, though, and this is also something that you have to remember. I mean, yeah, you can say he shoved down our throats and put into the main event, but when you've got someone who's in the main event scene, you would expect him to be in the main event, right?
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like,
I know. I mean, you're right. But you said this, and I think I told you this at the time. The 2 wins matter. The context matters, though.
Yes, the context doesn't matter of the 2 wins. Absolutely. One being that he retired.
The 2 wins are Braun Strowman's only pin on on WWE television and retiring The Undertaker.
Yes. But the pin of Braun Strowman was then reversed 2 pay-per-views later.
With the ambulance.
Yeah. And on the and Payback, because he beat him in Payback. So two pay-per-views.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually,
two consecutive pay-per-views. Or not consecutive, because Extreme Rules was between. But Payback and then
2 of 3. Yeah.
2 of 3. Braun then beat Roman. So yeah, the one pin, Braun got his win back, and Braun looks like a bigger star right now than Roman does. So, I'm just saying. You want to talk about someone being shoved down our throats? You remember when Braun Strowman came out in a black sheep mask and with his fucking fat baby face? And look where he is now.
Hard work, man.
Trying to tell me that's not getting shoved down our throats? Yeah, he worked his ass off.
Hard work.
But
no, you're right.
Still.
My problem with Roman is, and it's not even with Roman, it's that this company should have just put the fucking strap on him 2 years ago and seen what happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And called it a day.
Yeah. Just run with it.
You watch The West Wing.
Yeah.
This great line. Season opener of season 3. How do you get kids to eat their vegetables? By making sure there's nothing else on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Lyman.
Yeah.
You worked here. You put the belt on Roman 2 years ago, and you either see what you got or you see what you don't have, and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we're just doing this fucking kabuki theater bullshit again.
Yep.
Again and again. So, that's where we are. We're getting Roman Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And Roman's going to win, and he better have the fucking title till the Royal Rumble of 2019.
Yeah. I hope so.
Unless he gets hurt, God forbid. And I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
No,
Getting hurt
exactly.
sucks.
Yeah. Injuries are the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Unless he gets hurt or he quits. He better have the damn belt for 9 months leaving WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then either business goes up and you keep the belt on him, or business goes down and you take the belt off him and you know what you have.
Yep.
You need to know what you have with this guy.
I went back
I don't know if he's the man. I don't even care if he's the man. He may be the guy. He may not be the guy. I don't give a shit.
I went back as I was working.
But you need to know. The powers that be need to know. And the only way to know, Chris, is if you give him a strong title reign.
Mm-hmm. When I was
talked about this. How stupid are these people?
When I was working on converting the old podcast episodes, I was listening to some tidbits from different episodes here and there. And the episode 5, the Post-Mania podcast, you had brought up a great point back then, which is that the season after Mania is when all the best stuff happens because all the part-timers disappear for a while.
Yeah, I think that's
they have the opportunity
to come up with that theory.
They have the time to experiment with different things. That was why we got AJ Roman in 2016, which was fantastic.
So great.
I mean, they fucking dropped the ball this year with the dumbass superstar shakeup, and then just deciding to coast for 3 months.
Yep.
But
we said, they're gonna pick it up for SummerSlam. They're gonna pick it up for SummerSlam.
And they never fucking did.
Not so much, no.
But next year, after Mania 34. After Roman wins the title from fucking Brock, they'd better capitalize. They'd better not
I want Roman to run because you need to know what you have.
Yeah.
Either he's great for business or he's shit for business. But you won't know until you make him the centerpiece of your promotion.
100%.
And he's had 60 days with the belt total?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had the dog shit reign after he beat Triple H for 45 days or whatever the hell it was. And he had the one reign that lasted for 5 minutes, and he had the one reign that lasted for 3 weeks before the Rumble in 2015.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, 2016.
December
2015 to the Rumble of 2016. So he's had about 65 days, give or take?
Yeah.
Over 3 reigns? No. That's not how you do it. You put the strap on him, you have him just plow through the division. The men's side, you have him beat everybody.
Yeah, and
see what you got.
And go and you know what? Go on both sides. Have him do a feud against fucking Sami Zayn, who is your quintessential babyface, who
Yeah,
can
exactly.
get the crowd on his side, and then throw him back in another feud against Braun, and have him just
you know what it is?
Braun.
It's like if you buy it, it's like if you build a car, you give it stress tests. You know, like if you're testing your car on sand and you're testing your car on ice, you're testing your car on pavement to make sure that the car works right before you put it into production. You're testing a new car model. That's what you need here. You need to do the Roman Reigns stress test.
Yeah.
Does he draw against baby faces? We need to find out. Does he draw against heels? We need to find out. Does he draw against tweeners? We need to find out. We need to put through, because he may be the guy. He may be the one to carry this company into a boom period. I have no idea. No one has any idea. We don't have the data. We need the data. And the only way you're going to get that data is if you give him 9 months to a year with the belt.
And you know what? And
strong. Not bullshit either.
Exactly.
Main event.
And make sure that those matches that he has are the most fucking stellar, incredible spectacles that you can have.
That's gonna happen. I know that's gonna happen anyways. I know that he's a top 10 wrestler.
Give the people the matches that, you know, they're going to boo because it's Roman, because that's the narrative, and they're just going to boo regardless. But make sure that people can't go in there and say that Roman didn't do work. Make him go out there against the Shinsuke Nakamura and have a fucking 4.5-star match against Nakamura. Send him out there for that fucking John Cena match and have a fucking 4-star match with John Cena. You know, do all of those things. You know, whoever you're bringing in, you know, whenever any of the next round of guys come up from NXT, you know, McIntyre, Black, Cash Zono, you know,
I want an assembly line.
Yeah, send out.
You need to know.
Yeah, send out the best of the fucking best and make it happen.
That's it. You need to know if the guy's a draw.
Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't tell you if he is. I have no idea. But I would have a much clearer indication, and they would have a much clearer indication because they get quarter hours.
Exactly.
We don't get quarter hours. They get quarter hours.
Yep.
Anything else for this card, brother Chris?
Nope.
I feel like we're shouting into the void.
I mean, we talked about most of the significant stuff that happened during the week following. I mean, we got the title forfeiture. We talked about Bobby Roode debuting.
I'll say this: speaking of squashes, they booked Nakamura versus the Singh Brothers perfectly.
Yeah,
it was 90 seconds, and it was Nakamura beating the piss out of those guys. It was those guys bumping, and everyone went home.
Yep.
It wasn't Nakamura selling for the Singh Brothers. Thank God.
Thank God for that. Yeah. All right. Quick run through of the highlights of the War of the Worlds shows from over the weekend.
Sure.
Let's see. Kushida is still your ROH World Television Champion following first match against Teton in London, and then a fatal 4-way with Dalton Castle, Hiromu Takahashi, and Marty Scurll in Liverpool. He is still your ROH Television Champion. The ROH World 6-Man Tag Team Championships have changed hands. Dalton Castle and the boys lost the titles to the Hung Bucks, the team of Hangman Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson.
The Hung Bucks.
Yep, that's their name.
There's an image.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes successfully defended the ROH.
Shit, by the way. Sorry,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It does nothing for me.
I know, but I think he's got potential. But
we'll see. He is fairly young.
Yes. Cody Rhodes successfully defended the ROH World Championship against Sonata in Liverpool. Let's see. And Hiromu Takahashi and Mark Haskins had a fucking killer singles match in Edinburgh, as I predicted. I need to go and watch the whole thing, but the highlights of it look like it was a fucking barn burner. Highly recommended because both those guys are killers. Now to get into forthcoming things, we're going to do a very brief run through of what's happening at Triple Mania this weekend. It's Triple Mania 25, and even though AAA is garbage company, we still have to give some sort of.
We spray to all fields here.
Yep.
We are the Ichiro Suzuki of baseball podcasts.
So we're gonna have a fatal four-way for the Reign of the Reigness Championship between Ayoka Hamada, Lady Shani, Rosemary, and Sexy Star. That'll be interesting. The AAA Tag Team Championships are going to be defended in another fatal four-way. The champions Dark Cuervo, and Dark Scoria versus Monster Clown and Murder Clown versus Aerostar and Drago versus a mystery team that has not been revealed yet.
Oh, fun.
So that'll be interesting. And then we got a mask versus mask match between Dr. Wagner Jr. and Psycho Clown. Dr. Wagner Jr. obviously being a pinnacle of luchador wrestling worldwide.
Forever.
So, whether or not he, if he loses, this might be the end of his career. I mean, he's a legend, and for him to be unmasked.
No, he's not a young man either.
For him to be unmasked, that would basically be the end of it. And then finally, the resolution of the John Hennigan and Taya Valkyrie saga from a month or so ago in a triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs match. Johnny Mundo, Tejano Jr., and El Hijo de Fantasma will be fighting for all three of the belts Johnny Mundo currently holds: the AAA Mega Championship, the AAA Latin American Championship, and the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. All three titles are on the line in this tables, ladders, and chairs match. And
is it like the way WrestleMania 17 was, where one fall for one title, or does whoever win all three belts?
Whoever wins all three, because it's a TLC match, so they gotta climb the ladder.
Okay.
So whoever wins all three, and you have to imagine Johnny Mundo is going out on his back here because he's got to be done with the company at this point with how they mistreated his fiance. So that'll happen.
You mean Johnny Impact, my friend?
Yeah. Now he's going to be Johnny Impact full time now. I mean, it could be. I mean, there's no denying that those three are going to put on a fantastic match. I mean, Hijo de Fantasma, Del Fantasma, and Tejano and Mundo are all world-class performers. But, the backstage stink that surrounds the match kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That might draw a little bit out of it. But other than that, I mean, just looking at this in an echo chamber, this could easily be a great, fantastic match. There's plenty of other stuff on the card. It's all going down tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. The English feed will be up on Twitch, of all places, on twitch.tv/LuchaLibreAAA_EN. Or you can just watch the Spanish feed at twitch.tv/LuchaLibreAAA.
And have less Matt Striker in your life.
Oh, God, yeah.
Watch the Spanish feed.
Yeah, watch the Spanish feed. Yeah. Either way, AAA on Twitch TV.
I will be watching. I'll be at a party watching McGregor Mayweather. Speaking of spectacles, so I'll have to catch it. I'll have to catch it later on the way home.
I'll be down on the Jersey Boardwalk once again, so I'll also be catching it probably on Sunday.
Nice.
Then looking further ahead, New Japan is on the road to King of Pro Wrestling,
which is when, by the way, 2 weeks.
Pro Wrestling. No, King of Pro Wrestling is October 9th.
Oh, that's right. The Destruction shows are coming up.
Yes,
you're right.
Destruction is the first big stops on the road to King of Pro Wrestling. We've got 3 weeks of shows, and we're going to go through some of the highlights that are going to be happening here. So
good, intriguing matchups coming out of the G1.
Yeah. First up at Destruction at Fukushima, we have blah, 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 blah. First of all, and I'm actually going to just go through this one because this spans all 3 shows. At every single one of the Destruction shows, Fukushima, Hiroshima, and Kobe, the IWGP Tag Team Championships will be defended in triple threat matches between the Guerrillas of Destiny, the Killer Elite Squad, and War Machine. And
fun.
New Japan New Japan being New Japan, I am calling it now. At Fukushima, the Guerrillas are winning. At Hiroshima, Killer Elite Squad is winning. And at Kobe, War Machine's getting the titles back. And it's going to end. The Destruction shows are all going to end with just the whole thing being a wash.
Nice. Okay, why not?
I'm calling it now.
They obviously don't care about the tag team titles. So
they don't care about this little thing. I mean, they had to have a way to re-inject Killer Elite Squad back into the fold because Lance Archer's been gone for for fucking ever, and Davey Boy Smith has been doing other things. So, I mean, they had to have some way to get these guys back into the Suzuki Gun fold. So, that's a thing.
Apparently tonight, by the way, per Twitter, Killian Dane defended the NXT championships as part of Sanity. So Sanity may be doing the Freebird rules. Gimmick.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Dane and Wolf were the defenders on the house show.
Can we get Nikki Cross and Killian Dane defending the NXT Tag Team Championship?
Sure, why not? The ultimate Freebird.
Want that. I want that.
I always pop for the Freebird rules, so I'm glad for that.
Freebirding intergender. I want that. Let's see. The Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championships will also be defended at Fukushima. Los Ingobernables de Japón, the champions, Bushi Evil and Sonata, will be defending against the Chaos team of Kazuchika Okada, Rocky Romero, and Toru Yano. Being that it's Toru Yano, something tells me Chaos has a chance, but I think LIJ retains just because it's fucking Toru Yano.
Yes.
And then the main event at Fukushima is a G1 rematch. Minoru Suzuki defend the Never Openweight Championship against Big Mike.
Big Mike. Big Mike, by the way, right now at CMLL.
Yes, with Juice Robinson.
With Juice.
Yeah.
Big Mike, World Traveler.
Yeah. Do you think Mike wins the belt?
Not yet. I think he wins it at King of Pro Wrestling.
Do you think they have a rematch at King of Pro Wrestling?
I do.
All right.
I think this is a ugly distraction. Not ugly. I think this is a distraction-filled match. And at King of Pro Wrestling, they have a rematch, and Big Mike's buddies take out Suzuki's buddies, and then Big Mike takes out Suzuki.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
All right. And then at let's see, next Destruction at Hiroshima. What is being billed as the final match ever for Roppongi Vice.
By the way, because I'm 12, I laugh whenever I hear Destruction of Hiroshima.
You're terrible.
I am.
Anyway, please pardon that horribly culturally insensitive comment from my co-host.
It was not culturally insensitive. I just,
Anyway.
I was reading a little John Hersey earlier. I mean, what do you want from me?
Oh, my God. Anyway. At Destruction in Hiroshima, we will be having what is billed as the final match ever for Roppongi Vice. Beretta and Rocky will face the Bullet Club team of Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi. I mean,
that'll be a barn burner.
That's a crappy pair of opponents to go out against, but sky point for Roppongi Vice.
I bet Trent Beretta's happy he can eat a real meal. It must be hard to be under the weight limit at 6'1" or whatever he is.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's like, I can eat carbs again, thank God. Poor guy hasn't had a slice of bread in 10 years.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Then we also have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships being defended. Taguchi Japan, Ricochet and Ryusuke Taguchi defending against the Suzuki Gun team of Taichi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. I hope to God that Ricochet and Ryusuke retain because, as we've covered many times in the show, Taichi is shit.
Oh, he's terrible. He's brutal. Brutally bad.
The crowd chants Taichi Wakane for a reason, because that translates to Taichi go home, because we want him to go home and never come back.
Go away. Leave now and never return.
Thank you, Smeagol.
Yep. Leave now and never return.
And what will probably be a very interesting match, Kushida will be defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against El Desperado. I am looking forward to that one. Despy doesn't get enough credit for the work he does, and I think that this will be a very fun match. And then the main event at Hiroshima. You'll be excited about this one, I'm sure.
Oh.
Hiroshi Tanahashi defends the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against your friend and mine, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah!
Zacky 3 belts. No, Zacky 2
3 belts.
Zacky 2 belts.
I am one match away from saying I got drunk with an IWGP Intercontinental Champion one time.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope you get to be able to say that because Zack would be an awesome IC champion. I would love that.
I think he should win. I think Tanahashi should get the surgery, but that ship has sailed and come back, unfortunately.
Good, Sal. The reason why a stable led by Ryusuke Taguchi holds 3 of New Japan's 7 belts is because Taguchi Japan is fucking awesome. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong.
And because New Japan has too many belts. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
That too.
But that's besides the point.
I gotta go to the Ring of Honor show in October.
Yeah, you do.
I probably will. It's not that far from my mom's house.
For sure. I would love to hear a recap of that, a live recap.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Ring of Honor shows are always fun live, even if you like. I don't really follow Ring of Honor on a week-to-week basis. I don't really know what's going on, but it's always good. It's always good in ring wrestling. What's not to like? Yeah. And with Kenny Omega there, all the more reason.
Absolutely, yeah. Then Destruction at Kobe. Only a couple of highlights here. The semi-main event is right now booked as a tag team match of Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay versus Evil and Hiromu Takahashi. I mean, it's non-title or anything, but that sounds like a fucking awesome match.
Yeah, it does.
I am looking forward to that one. 4 guys who are all at the top of their game. That's going to be a fun match. But not as fun as the main event. The main event of Destruction in Kobe. Juice Robinson versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship.
Here for that.
Juice, I hope you win. So I hope you win.
No, because I wanted to win in Chicago, and I'll be there.
But I mean, he'll defend it in Chicago.
But I wanted to win in Chicago. It'd be cooler because he's from Chicago.
They won't have him win.
Much
Chicago.
Like myself and Leo McGarry, he is a man of Chicago.
Yeah, but they don't care about a Chicago crowd. They care about the Kobe crowd. It's a Japanese company.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I would love it. I mean, shit, I would fly out to Chicago for that if he's defending the title. But
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But the other the full and moving on to King of Pro Wrestling, the full card has not yet been announced, but 2 matches have been, and this is going to be 2 hellacious matches. First off. These are both G1 rematches. First off, Tetsuya Naito will be defending his G1 Climax contract against Tomohiro Ishii.
And they had a great match in Long Beach. I expect them to have a great match here.
They had a great match in the G1 too. Oh my God, was that a great match? That was easily one of the best matches of A Block. Good.
Is this at Sumo Hall? It is at Sumo Hall.
Yeah, King of Pro Wrestling is
at Sumo Hall. Got to draw another 11,000.
Yeah. That's between that match and this next match, King of Pro Wrestling is shaping up to be an amazing event. The other match at King of Pro Wrestling, another rematch of a hellacious G1 match, Evil versus Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Now, if you remember that Evil versus Okada match, Evil beat the shit out of Okada.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God, that spot with the chairs on the outside. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, I was terrified. And they were throwing bombs at each other. I can't say this enough. Like I said this on Twitter, and I'm gonna say it again here. Like, I don't care how you feel about his gimmick being goofy as shit, and I'll tell you right now, it's goofy as shit. Evil is a fucking star. That dude is incredible. Because not only does he make the gimmick work, he makes the gimmick work as something serious. In any other company, Evil working that gimmick, he would look like a buffoon. They would make him look like an idiot. But I don't care what he's doing. Like, even him at the end of every promo saying, "This is evil. Everything is evil." The conviction that he has for his gimmick and the charisma with which he sells it works so well. The dude is phenomenal. I love him. Sorry, I just had to get that.
No argument here. I have nothing to say. I agree. Co-signed.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get rid of the Spirit Halloween sickle, but whatever.
I mean, it wouldn't be New Japan if it didn't have a little bit of camp to it, but I mean, even with that though, like he's not out there like taking the sickle and like slashing dudes with it. And he just carries it to the ring and then hands it to a young lion. I mean, if anything, I would drop the laser light show. That's the thing that I would potentially drop. Yes. Even though it looks cool, it's kind of unnecessary, and the fact that they don't do it with every entrance, makes it a little bit, like, don't really need it. You can just as easily do that with the arena lighting. But other than that, I mean, Evil fucking owns the gimmick, and it works. And the crowd loves him. They were cheering the shit
They love
out of
all the LIJ guys.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, the other thing, I said this on Twitter also, and you were here for this. Shithead Okada is the best
so
Okada.
Finally, yes.
Finally watching Okada Kojima. Yes. Shithead Okada. I need more of Shithead Okada.
Oh, he does the pose on Kojima. He does the Rainmaker pose with his leg on his foot on Kojima's back.
Even right from the get-go, with him clapping along with the crowd, encouraging them to chant for clapping along, Kojima, Kojima, and just going along with them. Yep. And then he just fucking blasts him right out the gate. It's just like, yeah, I love this. Just Okada being a dick. It's the greatest. Oh man, I mean, they should just run that all the way to fucking Wrestle Kingdom, because the crowd's gonna cheer for Naito anyway.
Agreed.
Naito's going into this as the face. Just have Okada embrace his inner shithead. Perfect.
Agreed.
He pulls it off so well.
It may affect drawing, but probably not.
Probably not. I mean, those two are.
Why not?
I love it. All right. Last thing before we get out of here. Did you get a chance to watch the Mae Young Classic bracketology special?
I did not.
All right.
I'm very bad.
Let me shoot this over to you so that you can look this over and give some thoughts. The bracket was revealed in full in a special after SummerSlam. They had some interviews with different competitors and little spotlight promo bits, and then they revealed both sides of the bracket. Again, just like the Cruiserweight Classic, 32 people. Interesting fact that was revealed: there was originally supposed to be 16. Triple H didn't think they were going to have enough talent, but here you go. I mean, this is a stellar field. So, looking over this bracket.
All right. I got it up on WWE.com.
Oh, perfect. So, first round matchups, the round of 32, things that are jumping out at me. Kaylee Ray versus Princess Suhei. That's gonna be a fun one, because Princess Suhei is a veteran of Lucha Libre. But she's a little bit up there in years, but and she's going up against Kaylee Ray, who is an insane high flyer. It's gonna be interesting to see how Princess Suhei deals with Kaylee Ray and her daring feats of flight. Let's see. What else
I'm looking real quick. Should I be excited for Dakota Kai versus Kavita Devi?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Kavita Devi is a very tall, very muscled competitor, and Dakota Kai, the other babyface to end all babyfaces that there is out there. She's gonna be probably working under Kavita Devi for that match. Okay. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Tell me about
Dakota Kai's first WWE babyface comeback.
Tell me about Renee Michelle versus Candice LeRae. I already know about Candice, but tell me about Renee Michelle.
Renee Michelle has been around the indies. I think she's also done a little bit of work with Women of Honor. She's relatively new, somewhat unseasoned talent, but she should give Candice a spirited match. I am anticipating Candice to win there, but I mean, it'll be a good showcase for Renee Michelle.
One more, tell me about, because I've seen this one on the Indies, obviously. Mm-hmm. I know who Mercedes Martinez is. Tell me about Xia Li.
Xia Li, she's one of the new Chinese recruits at the Performance Center.
So not much there. Okay.
She's got a background in martial arts and kung fu, so that'll be interesting.
I like Mercedes Martinez. I've seen her wrestle in AEW.
She's very scrappy. That'll be a fun one. Another highlight of the first round will be Abby Lath versus Jazzy Gabbert.
That was my next one. Good looking out.
The former Kimber Lee versus the former Alpha Female. Both of whom are very versatile performers. Jazzy's going to be showing very intense Haas style that will put Tamina and Nia Jax out of business immediately if she ever gets to the main roster. And Abby Lath is a very very versatile performer. She's trained as a ballerina for much of her youth. Very graceful, very quick moving in the ring, and has a versatile skill set to show off. I don't know who's going to win that match. Spoilers aside, I don't know who would win that match. And it's going to be fun one to watch. On the other side of the bracket, the other one I'm looking at is other two I'm looking at. First off, Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard's a known commodity. If you've seen her on the Indies, you know what she's about. Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane, this is going to be her first WWE showcase, and she came into this tournament touted as one of the performers to beat. So I'm looking to see if they're going to give her a strong showing here. Okay. See how she comes out against those veteran like Tessa, who has some issues. And down the bracket, Tainara Conti versus Lacey Evans. This is a battle of Performance Center signees. And Tainara Conti we haven't seen. She's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu veteran, extensive background in shoot combat sports. And Lacey Evans, former U.S. Marine, we've seen her a little bit on NXT. I'm interested.
She's the former pinup, right?
Yeah, she's the one.
Yeah.
She still does that.
Nikki Cross did the neckbreaker on about 14 times on an NXT episode one time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, Lacey's still relatively new, but she's come along a lot, and I'm interested to see where these two stand in their current training.
One more, and we'll get out of here. Tell me about Aisha Raymond and Toni Storm. You talked about Toni Storm earlier at the top of the show.
Yeah, Aisha Raymond is from the UK wrestling scene. She hasn't really been on any of the top level promotions in the UK, but she's got some years under her belt. And this should be an interesting clash of styles between the two of them because, well, it won't really be a clash of styles. So they're both hard strikers, so it should be a little bit of a slugfest. And let's see, just going down the bracket, how I think this is going to play out, getting into the quarterfinals. The top right side of the bracket is going to be the hardest to predict because with both Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane, both in that segment and both likely to be meeting each other in the quarterfinals. I don't know how that goes. Both of them have incredible futures in front of them, and whichever one of them comes out on top in that match, because I'm assuming they're both going to end up, going that way into the quarterfinals. It's going to be very interesting to see which of them comes out on top and which of them has a brighter prospects as the tournament plays out. Bottom right side of the bracket is pretty clearly Toni Storm's game. I can see the winner of Santana Garrett versus Piper Niven.
Santana Garrett, I think can make a run.
Yeah, the winner of Santana Garrett Piper Niven might be the one to challenge Toni Storm eventually further down the bracket, but I think that's Toni Storm's quadrant to lose. Bottom left side of the bracket, you got an interesting set of potential matchups there with Nicole Savoy, Candice LeRae, and Shayna Baszler, and Mia Yim also, all in that segment of the bracket.
It's a stacked quadrant.
Yeah, all four of them easily could make cases to be in the quarters and the semifinals, and I think that the matchups we're going to see of those four, if all four of them win their respective round of 32 matches, that's going to be a killer set of matches, no matter who wins throughout the round of 16, the quarters, and the semis. And then the top left side, another set of performers, another pretty stacked quadrant there with Mercedes Martinez, Kaylee Ray, Princessa Suhei, Rachel Evers, Abby Lay, and Jazzy Gabbert, all known commodities, great names. Again, all can match up and put on great matches. Maybe not necessarily the same high quality that you would see from the bottom left side, but it should all still be fun watches. I'm sure of that. So, yeah, Mae Young Classic starts on Monday. Starting at 9 Eastern, you can start watching the first 4 episodes. And yeah, I highly recommend you tune in for them.
Works for me.
All right.
Seems like perfect train viewing for me.
Yeah, I'm sure that you will enjoy some of the quite a few of those matches. There's several people I didn't get into that are going to be fun to watch as well. I have to profess immediately, watch Rhea Ripley. You're going to love her.
Sure, we'll do.
She's a prodigy. She's going to wow you. At 20 years old, she is already looking to be one of the future best in the world. So I'm excited to see what she does in this tournament. And that's going to do it for us. Long show, but we had a lot to talk about tonight. So thank you all for joining us. Lots of regulars in the live chat. Thank you all for being here. We hope you will join us next week, and you will treat Duke with the same level of courtesy and profound respect that you treat us every week.
Yes, because we love our listeners.
Yes, we do.
Y'all are good people.
And let's give our respective plugs as always. Wednesday night shooting, as we talked about earlier, with Tanya and Andrew. Give them a listen, subscribe, love them. Friday mornings, Shooting the Breeze with Taker's Minion and Mr. Dr. Senju. They actually just got started on iTunes as well. So look them up, subscribe to them on iTunes, and listen into them live on Friday mornings if you can, or through iTunes if you are not able to listen live. Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling with Sal and Fizzy. Also, I don't even know what happened with your guys' show today, but because I'm so out of the loop. But give them a listen, check them out. Good people, we love them. And yeah, our other favorite shows, as I plugged last week, Facelock Feministas and Not Your Demographic, great feminist wrestling podcast. We love them. Give them a subscribe, give them a listen, have a good time with them. And am I forgetting anybody?
I don't think so.
All right.
See you all next week, Chris. I will talk to you down the line. Have a wonderful time in Northern Virginia. Duke, you're on deck.
Yeah.
Get ready. I want to hear about the Angelus and Keith Lee match.
Oh my God. I will definitely make sure that I get that video on SmartMark when it comes out, because I read
Don Sal, take care of yourself, big guy.
I read Duke's text recap. And that looks like it was an amazing match. I want to see it live.
Look forward to it.
Yes.
Look forward to it. It's a bit of a slow week, so the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah. And Sal, take care of yourself. Feel better soon. And that stress is a killer. I know how that goes. Do what you got to do.
We're here for you, big guy. We're here for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Chris. I'm George. As always, don't work yourself into a shoot. Listen to all our friends. Thank you for listening to us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
Yep. Episode 25 is in the books. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.